Thanks for being here with us today for our first weekly press conference. It's our first ever Zoom weekly press conference. So definitely an interesting time, but I know we're all ready for next Wednesday's football, MAC football season to start. And thank you for joining us today. A couple of reminders, we are recording this conference and it will be posted later. So keep that in mind. Also, we will be unmuting you, so remain muted until we call on you, and we will unmute you. You don't have to do that. So so with that, we will get started. We'll start with head coach Thomas Hammock, entering his second year. And coach, do you want to talk just a little bit about the team, the preparation for Buffalo, and getting ready to play?
You know, obviously, this has been a long time coming. We've seen firsthand the ups and downs of guys wanting to be able to play football, and we've been practicing extremely hard. Our guys are anxious. I think they're ready to go. We've had an excellent training camp. When you look at training camp being during the school year, that obviously presents some challenges. But I think our guys have handled that, to the best of their abilities. I think it's been a productive training camp, a physical training camp, and we're going to be anxious to play on Wednesday night.
All right. With that, raise your hand or let us know in the chat if you have a question for Coach Hammock. Eddie? Yeah. All right. We'll go with Huskies on tap. Ethan?
Hey, Coach, how are you? Buffalo head coach Lance Leipold says he won't name a starting quarterback until game time. How have you guys handled practice with a game time decision like that? Have you guys prepared more for one quarterback than the other? How does that practice go?
Well, I think the great thing is we've seen enough on both quarterbacks. Number 10 obviously was a guy that played early in the season and got hurt. The number 7 finished the year off. So, we got enough information. I think obviously, depending on who they play is we can determine what type of game plan that they're going to be looking for. But obviously they got 2 quality quarterbacks. I mean, they may play both of them. So we got to be prepared for all scenarios, and they're both good enough to make plays and extend plays with their legs. So we got to make sure we got the quarterback accounted for in our game plan.
And one final, because there are only 6 games this season, the margin for error is obviously much smaller. Does this change the way a coach would call a game? Do they go more aggressive with it? Obviously probably the lack of or more aggressiveness is probably more key, but obviously without giving away a game plan, how does the 6-game schedule go for a coach's game plan?
Well, as far as the length of the season, that doesn't determine how we're going to play on a week-to-week basis. We're going to try to do whatever it takes to win each specific game, and obviously Buffalo is our first opponent. It's the only opponent that we're thinking about at this time, and we're trying to put our players in the best position possible where they can go out there and have success.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
All right, Eddie from the Daily Chronicle, you're unmuted.
Coach, I was just wondering, with looks like your 2 deeps are obviously, and we knew this was coming, but littered with freshmen. You got like 14 true freshmen on there. They don't have any on theirs. Just how do you expect you guys, what kind of, challenges does that present going up against an experienced team like you're sure do all year?
Well, I guess we all look at things from a different perspective. I bet if we walked our guys on the field and you were standing there, you wouldn't be able to tell which guys are freshmen and which guys are not. I think from a size and physicality standpoint, these young guys have come in and competed and done everything asked of them. And we put more on their plate. We put them in higher stress situations where they had to prove themselves to their teammates. And so, couldn't be more pleased with those guys. Obviously, the only thing lacking is experience. But November 4th, that will no longer be a problem. So excited about them, and we're going to try to go out there and play physical and tough and play for 4 quarters.
Anything else, Eddie?
That's good for now. I can let James go.
All right, James from the Northern Star.
Thanks, Coach. This is a unique season for many reasons, but obviously you don't really get a non-conference schedule to really get the team warmed up, per se, for this conference schedule. Beyond winning and losing in this Buffalo game, what do you want to establish for your team in this first game?
Well, obviously we want to establish a mentality, an approach to how we want to play, and I think that starts up front on the offensive and defensive lines. We have to be physical at the point of attack, and that physicality is going to carry us throughout the season. Obviously, fundamentals and techniques are a big thing. And then we got to play clean football. We got to protect the football. We got to try to create turnovers. We got to play good on special teams. We got to do the things that smart football teams do that put themselves in a position to have a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter. And so those are some of the things that we'll be looking for. How clean can we play? And then if something bad happens, how quickly can we flush it and move on? Because, football is about ups and downs. There's give and take. Don't ride the roller coaster. We want to be consistently good. And obviously, if something bad happens, you got to flush it and move on and play the next snap. So, really, I want to see the leadership of our upperclassmen, stick out, lead these guys in the direction of doing everything possible to get a victory.
One of the people, just from looking at the depth chart that came out this afternoon, Trayvon Rudolph being listed as a starter at wide receiver and as kick returner as a true freshman. Tell me what people can expect from Rudolph in this game and moving forward.
Well, I just think, we didn't give him a scholarship because he couldn't play. He walked on, so we had no reason to give him a scholarship early. He went out there and he earned it. And, he's a young man that in the recruiting process we really liked. We couldn't get him back on campus. I was going to watch him play basketball, but he was a guy definitely we had a scholarship grade on. And then, he took his time. He took too much time, and we took somebody else. But he was a guy that certainly we thought was a top-level performer, a top-level competitor. And all he's done since he's been here has shown that each and every single day. And I think that if you ask guys on our team who are some of the top players on our offense, I think his name will be in that conversation. So, obviously he's a young kid. He's very talented. He played quarterback in high school, so he's able to handle the pressure and the volume of different situations. And, we expect some big things out of him.
And then last question, I wanted to ask you about someone who may not see a ton of playing time, but I got the chance to talk to him, and it's an interesting story. Greg Deluca, I believe he's listed as a linebacker or a safety, one of the two, but I got to talk to him and talk about him joining the program. From what you've seen from him so far, what does he bring to this team in terms of his experience, be it from college athletics, be it from the Navy? What are some of the things he brings to this team?
Well, first, if you don't know Greg Deluca was a young man that played lacrosse and football at Duke, and then went to the Navy. So he's older, but he brings a maturity. He brings a leadership quality. He brings experience, worldly experience that our young men can learn and benefit from. And obviously, he's a extremely hard worker. He's a man that's going to lead by example and tell you what you need to do. So for our team, having him in the locker room and what he brings has been tremendous. And I think our players look to him for leadership, and they look to him. You don't have to be a starter. You don't have to play to be a leader. And I think Greg is a great example of that. He goes out there and works his butt off extremely hard every day. And I think our players see that. And he's given us a great look on the scout team. I joke with some of my coaches, maybe he can help us down the line. But he's certainly somebody we're happy with and glad he's a part of the program.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Jeff Leon, we're going to unmute your line if you have a question for Coach. Oh, hold on. He's not unmuted. All right. Sorry, we're gonna have to work that out. I know Jeff is calling from a board and not in a phone, so we will keep working on that. Any other questions for Coach Hammock at this time? Jeff, you could also.
Hold on, Eddie, just trying to.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Just, what challenges do their coach, to their two defensive ends present? I mean, they both obviously had monster years last year. Just what kind of challenges do those present, and how are you game planning them?
Well, obviously in the passing game, they create tremendous pressure on the quarterback. I think they have a variety of moves. They can beat you up the field with speed. They can get to the level of the quarterback and spin back inside. They can bull rush. So our tackle's going to have a tough job, and we got to make sure we put our tackles in a situation where they can have success, whether it be helping them in some capacity, whether it be getting the ball out quick. But their two defensive ends are really, really good players, and we got to be able to extend drives, get their D line a little bit tired, and try to make plays from there.
Are we opening up to Kyle? Questions to Kyle yet, or are we holding
Nope,
off on?
nope, not yet. Still with Coach Hammock.
Okay, sorry.
All right. Anything else for Coach Hammock? Here we go back to James.
Yeah, Coach, just one more question about Aaron Collins, the transfer in from Hutchinson. He's listed right now on the two deeps as the starting tailback. What have you liked from what you've seen of him so far in practice, and what is he going to bring to this team?
Yeah, I think he's a tremendous player, a tremendous competitor. He's a guy that gets stronger with more volume, which is what you like to see at the running back position. He's a guy that he's got good vision. He can find the hole. He has enough speed to take it the distance. He can catch. He can pass protect. He's had a lot of great battles with Kyle Pugh that I'm sure Kyle will attest to. But this guy runs hard. He runs physical, and we're really going to try to get him warmed up on November 4th.
All right. With that, I think that's all the questions we have for Coach Hammock. So we will go ahead and move over to our first player who's joined us today, and that is senior linebacker Kyle Pugh. Kyle, thanks for being on the conference with us today. Really appreciate it, and hope you're doing well. Give us a little sound so we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Very good. All right, let's go to Eddie Carifio for Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle, I know they have a couple 1,000-yard backs coming back this year. Just, when you're facing a dynamic backfield with a lot of options like that, just what's the mindset going in?
I think, we have to acknowledge the fact that they have two really good backs. But, as far as our mentality as a defense, it doesn't really matter who we line up against. We're very competitive, hate to lose. I know speaking for myself, so it's not really about the name on the back of the jersey for us. We're really just looking to, show what we can do.
I know it was 2 years ago. I know there's a lot of roster turnover and everything, but how much do you think, the 2018 MAC championship game, especially maybe from their point is having a chip on their shoulder sort of thing with the way that game went? Do you think that that's a factor at all, or how much of a factor do you think at all, if at all?
I'm sure they remember. We remember, so I'm sure they remember. But as far as, this year, I think everybody's looking to just start with a fresh slate.
All right, we'll go to Andy Garcia.
Oh, you've been on campus, I think, 10 years now? No, I'm just joking. You've been here a while. You've gone through ups and downs. You've gone through team success. You've gone through what you've had to do as an individual. How are you going into this season for you personally, and then how do you feel about the defense as you start the season?
Personally for me, I'm going into the season with the same mindset as I always do, with no fear, and just taking it one game at a time, with no other expectations besides to win. I really don't care about anything other than the score at the end of the game. So when you play like that, you kind of get to just hang loose and have fun. As far as this defense this season, I think the sky's the limit for us. Granted, we have a lot of young guys, but for what they've shown in camp, you like Coach Hammock said, you can't really tell if you're not looking at a roster who's who. Guys can ball, and I'm confident lining up with them. So,
do you take it as not a marathon but a sprint at this point? Do you look at a 6-game season different than what you would as a 12-game season?
Oh yeah, especially for my past. As far as not really making it through 12-game seasons, it's just one. I can't really see past November 4th right now. I've been working a full year to get to this spot, and I'm definitely not overlooking it. So right now, November 4th is the only date that I could be, looking forward to.
Thanks. Can't wait to see you out there.
Appreciate you.
Okay, we'll go to Ethan from Huskies on Tap.
Hey, Kyle. So you talked about a lot of young guys and some roster turnover and things like that from last season. As a veteran member of the defense, how was the bonding experience for this team coming in during this crazy offseason? Obviously, it was different for you guys, but how well did you guys bond together as a unit during this offseason?
In my personal opinion, I think we clicked right away. I think it has something to do with I've been here so long. Guys kind of came in, with an idea of who I was and, what I was about. And I think that our expectations and our goals aligned. And, when it's like that, when you're around like-minded people, it's really easy to, be cohesive as a unit.
And I know a lot of people are going to be asking you this. Will we be seeing the juice box on the sideline Wednesday night?
Yeah, you got to wait and see.
All right, we'll be watching. Thanks, Kyle.
All right, James Krause. Hold on a minute. Go ahead, James.
Kyle, great to have you back. First off, you're going to be sort of in the linebacker group that's going to be the anchor of this team. 2 freshmen on the line, 2 freshmen in the secondary. What responsibilities additionally, with just obviously playing your part in the defense, are you going to have in sort of bringing this whole group together this season?
I think one thing that Coach Hammock has really challenged me to do this year, and I think I'm finally starting to understand it now, is to not wait until things get bad, to start being a leader. I have to be vocal from the get-go, and just encourage guys to stay confident and have a next play mentality, and as far as we're trying to be proactive instead of reactive with our leadership. So I'll be vocal from the get-go, and I think that's the biggest thing for the defense.
All right, if no one else has a question for Kyle, let us know in the next 10 seconds if you do. All right, Kyle, I want to thank you very much for being with us today, and best of luck on Wednesday night. And we will bring in Cole Tucker, junior wide receiver from DeKalb, and we will take questions for anyone who has questions for Cole. Let us know. All right, we'll go back to Ethan from Huskies on Tap.
Going on, Cole. So you're going up against obviously the best defense in the conference last season. What does this offense have to do to beat that good of a defense in Buffalo on Wednesday?
I think the whole mainstay of our offense, we got to run the ball. We got to be able to establish the run. That's a big part of any offense, really, being able to get the tough yards, get 4 here and there, and that really opens up the pass. So, being able to get some play action in there after the run, that's the big key.
Yeah, Coach Sorrentino talked about you being the Swiss Army knife of the team. Have you talked to Coach Hammock about getting some defensive reps in there yet? I don't know. I mean, kick returner, special teams, offense, you just haven't crossed off defense yet.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest defensive guy in the world. I didn't even play in high school. If I got to do it, I'll do it, but not really on my bucket list to play defense in college.
Love to see it, Cole. Good luck Wednesday.
Appreciate it.
All right, Andy Garcia for Cole.
Cole, how is your relationship built with Ross now that he's been in this program now for 2 years?
It's built a lot. You know, last year he kind of came in the summer, so we weren't able to get as many reps as we'd like in the spring. With him being here another year, you know, we've been able to get together one-on-one and just, you know, on Saturdays with other receivers to really develop our timing on routes and just, you know, see what he's thinking on certain plays, see what I'm thinking, all the other receivers.
How have you wanted to improve as a receiver going into your junior year?
This offseason I kind of started to improve. I want to get more separation from defensive backs. You know, last year, I mean, I kind of pride myself in being a good route runner, being able to, you know, get guys off me, but I need to focus on getting stronger and quicker, just in and out of breaks to get them away from them.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Sam Knox from WREX. Welcome, Sam.
Your line's still muted, Sam.
There we go. Sorry about
There
that.
you go.
Hey, Cole, how's it going? So obviously the MAC preseason polls coming out. Have you guys towards the bottom there? Does that, you know, light a fire for you guys, or what kind of mentality do you guys pay any attention to that, or do you just kind of go about your business the way you would?
I mean, yeah, it kind of lights a fire for everyone, but I mean, you know, Coach Hammock's done a great job of, you know, being like good. I hope they put us at the bottom. You know, it gives us more room to prove them wrong, you know, allow us to, you know, go out there and show them what we can do. So, you know, at the end of the season, you know, it doesn't really matter where you're projected preseason. It's all about where you finish.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll go on to James Krause for Cole.
Cole, this offense last year maybe didn't live up to the expectations of what a lot of people expect just from the talent side. From last year to this year, what do you think is the biggest improvement people are going to notice about this team?
Yeah, I think from last year to this year, the biggest thing we've been focusing on is like the little details. You know, I think last year being a first year in the system, you know, some guys, you know, were a little confused on, you know, it's not an easy offense to run, not an easy offense to understand completely from any perspective. So being able to really get together in the offseason and go over the minute details and really focus on doing the little things correct has been a huge thing for us going into the season.
All right, thank you.
All right, Eddie.
Hey, Cole, I was just wondering what you thought of Gandy earning a starting spot over on the other side there.
Yeah, you know, I'm proud of him. You know, being from DeKalb, you know, it's kind of not hard. I mean, last time I played with him, he was a sophomore in high school, and I was a senior. So, you know, it's kind of hard to realize that he's, you know, playing with me in college, with him being at South Dakota State last year. So, you know, it's happy to see him. You know, he's doing a great job in camp. You know, he really proved himself coming here. So, you know, I'm happy for him.